If you have a giant network, you don't need to look for business. It just comes. And what I'm trying to figure out is how big a network can you build? How much of a network is it possible for me to build now? I've got 50,000 contacts on Academy. I've got 25,000 on LinkedIn. I've got 10,000 followers on FriendFeed. I've got on Twitter. I've got 5,000 friends on Facebook. And Facebook have shut the door. You know, you can't have more than 5,000. So you have to wait for them to open up. But what happens when that number's 1 million in 20 years? What's it like having 1 million contacts? What would it be like that? And would it obviously it would be impossible to manage them. So you wouldn't bother I already don't bother to manage the networks because it's too hard. There aren't tools and software suitable. I had to leave Microsoft Outlook because it couldn't manage the data I had in it. I had to move to Gmail because it could. So you've got all of these contacts, and they're growing. You know, every month they're growing. Your Twitter contacts are growing. Your Academy contacts, your LinkedIn, your Zing, your Facebook. They're all growing. And then you've got your friends in your local neighbourhood, and maybe the church, or your pub, or your local community. And you're interacting perhaps more through them, through the technology, bringing you closer together. What happens when people end up with thousands and thousands of contacts, as opposed to the 100 people they'd invite to their 50th birthday or their wedding? What's the impact of everyone in the world knowing everyone else in the world? What will the world look like when that happens? Because that world is arriving in the next 20 or 30 years. So I'm trying to figure out what new power will come to humanity as a result of having giant amounts of connectedness through these networks. Would it be a more united society? A more friendly society? More sharing? More ease of flow rather than this stiffness that you have? You know, I've got to be careful who I talk to. Don't talk to strangers. Be careful there. Don't absorb that. I won't talk to him. You know, is it going to shift? And what's it going to be at the end? If you look at the horsepower going to a personal computer by 2030, the horsepower of a PC will match the processing power of your brain. So you're the machine on your desk with maybe 100 gigabits of bandwidth and can think as fast as you can and process as fast as you can. That's 2030. So it might be easy to manage 1 million contacts. And everything just flows towards you. You know, you don't have to think about anything, it just comes towards you whenever you want it. You know, food, information, knowledge, contacts, business. You don't have to go hunting for things. Everything is served.
Now you can collaborate with world-class experts and thousands of business people to solve your biggest problems in business. Simply log in to your business channel and put your question to our editorial team. You can also post your questions on YouTube, Facebook or Twitter. I'm sure you can see how it will work for you. It's all about solving your problems fast. There are also low risk and results-based options if you'd like more help. Sign up today.